Hi everybody, my name's Kim Hunter. I've been teaching for almost 20 years now, with most of my career time spent in middle school. I went into teaching for very good reasons, and I so value our students and the whole educational process. But as I'm sure you are feeling, like I had been feeling post-pandemic, teaching has never been more difficult for educators. And honestly, be honest, it's never been more difficult for our students either. So I joined Flair because I was burnt out, I'm frustrated. How I'd been teaching in the past wasn't really reaching my students, I wasn't meeting their needs. But the whole purpose of Flair is to support each other as teachers, to keep us from getting burnout, and to share ideas and to learn from each other. Because honestly, think about your students. How do they learn better? Through collaboration. That's how teachers learn more and can be better teachers, is through collaboration and support. And since I've joined Flair, I am having more fun, more success with my students than I have in quite a few years. So I feel revived, re-energized, and love teaching 20 years later. And I'm not ready to stop now, and I'm hoping you aren't either.
In my 6th year of teaching, I went and I started teaching at a middle school from the high school. And this was a very difficult position because most of the staff was new. It was a school and a program improvement plan, and the administration was tough. And I felt like I was not valued because I didn't teach the specific way that my administrators wanted me to. And they had me do certain things. They had to write lesson plans, and they made me really feel like I was a brand new teacher when I had experience. And the things that I was doing in my classroom with, different creative ideas that I had that I thought would work with my students were kind of frowned upon by the administration. And that made me feel like, oh, maybe I don't know what works with kids. Maybe it is this way. And it was really difficult for me to fit that mold because my heart wasn't in it when I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. And so that is what changed when I came to a different school site in a different district, and I was able to have the freedom to teach in the way that I wanted to, and I could use these creative approaches, and I was respected for it, and I was applauded for it, and it was like a complete shift that I could not believe. But that's because it's a different perspective that I was being seen from. And with Flair, we do that. We allow you the freedom to be who you are as a teacher and to use your creativity in the way that you feel is best for your students and the way that you feel comfortable using it. Because that's really what it's about, is being yourself in the classroom and to use what works for you in a way that you can reach your students. Because if we're trying to be someone else that we aren't, it's not going to work. And the kids are going to see right through it because we know that they do. They see everything, they understand everything, and they know when a teacher is faking it. And if you're faking it, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. So please join us at Flair. Embrace your flair for teaching. Find what works for you and be who you are.
Hi guys, I'm Katie Nelson. I am a veteran teacher. Been in the field a long time, but these days that doesn't really matter. Anybody who has been teaching since 2020, whether you're a first-year teacher or a veteran teacher, we're all very tired. First-year teachers that stuck it through, that have only been doing this a little while, don't quit, because everywhere you look, everywhere you read, it's teacher burnout and why I quit and why I won't stay, and that's not going to work. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I'm with Flair because I met these fabulous people. One of the co-founders of Flair sat next to me on a plane, and we talked about how much education needed to change and how tired we both were on our way to different parts of our lives over a long weekend. And now I'm part of an amazing community doing something about it. It's one thing to rant and rave and be angry and then go back to the way it was. In my opinion, you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And we're all part of the problem when we gripe and complain. But what changes and what Flair has done for me is we're the solution. You're part of the solution now. Yeah, we all know why everybody's quitting, but why are we staying? The human connection is why I stay. The human connection is why I joined Flair. The human connection and building relationships with people, having these conversations matter. We have to change the narrative. We have to change I don't want to know why you quit anymore. We all know you were tired. A principal upset you, a teacher said something they shouldn't have, a parent threw something at you. We know the reasons. Those are reasons that I choose to stay. Because if I don't, and I'm looking now at a veteran in the field of 20 years, as a third generation teacher, looking back, I remember the strikes in the 80s. I remember the violence and horrible things going on in the 90s. The 2000s were no different. There was a recession. There's always something every 10 years. There's always something, you guys. Every 10 years, every generation has their something. Some people had Vietnam War. Some people had Iraqi freedom. Some people endured the Twin Towers falling. You guys, the teachers teaching now that are coming into the profession were babies when the towers fell. Literal babies. They don't remember that if they weren't alive. Their Twin Towers falling, this next generation of teachers, you that are coming into the classroom for the first year in these coming years, the pandemic was your Vietnam War. The pandemic and school closures was your Twin Towers falling. The pandemic and being in your home away from people for 3 years was a war on the heart and a war on the mind. And we're just trying to jump back into how it was before. And for those of you who lived that through these very important stages of your life, there isn't what was before. You're starting from nothing. And it's my job and our job as veterans to take you by the hand and to learn by doing and not just telling you in classes and in books and through the curriculum. Yes, it's all important. I'm not saying it's not. But connecting with you through Flair is why I stay. Is you starting out, you need people that have been around a long time, and God knows I need you. Because brainstorming with people who understand YouTube and all of the ins and outs of the new technology coming out, it's not my thing. I was still handwriting essays, guys. Google didn't exist when I was in high school. Yes, I just aged myself. But we need each other. We need to collaborate. And until I met Angie on an airplane and talked about Flair and the vision and became part of this team and joined this team, I would have never talked with a general education middle school teacher about the commonalities of problems in our field. I would have never had the opportunity to talk to a math teacher who loves making math fun because I hate it. I would have never had the opportunity to create more friendships with people who don't do what I do every day. We're both teachers, we're all teachers in some capacity, but not in my field. I work in special education, my mindset's a little different, but teaching is teaching, and we're feeling it across the board at every level, in every content area, every age, every subgroup, every teaching style. We all feel that. We need that human connection back. We need people to care. We need to be heard. Flair changes the narrative, and we want you to be a part of it. Come join us and be the reason why we stay. I stay to find my Flair again and being part of this team. I now love teaching again for the first time in about 4 years. So don't quit, please stay. Join Flair and share your experiences because they matter. I want to hear them. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear the people that are coming into the profession and are terrified because everybody's quitting, but you still want to do this job. You still love the potential of being an amazing educator and making a difference and making an impact on future generations. We need to stay, and we need to stay together and work collaboratively. Future teachers, come join us. Teaching's always been hard, all through the generations. It's never been considered an easy profession. It's been made harder these last few years unnecessarily, But just like anything, it's not going to change if we don't say something and do something about it. So Flair's doing something. We're going to be part of the change, part of the conversation, part of the narrative, why we stay and why you should too. Join Flair.
Hi everyone, my name is Kylie Peterson, and as a future educator, future elementary school teacher, I'm terrified. I'm seeing all these videos, I'm on social media, they're everywhere, of why I quit teaching, why I'll never go back. You know, they're all funny skits and I go, haha, funny. But that isn't reality. It's chaos between administrators and parents and just students. You know, after the pandemic, the behaviors are times 10, you know, and I'm not even close to graduating yet, but I still see this and I go, what am I getting myself into? You know, but at the same time, I know that I need to keep going because there are so many teachers quitting and they're giving up on these kids, and it makes me sad because the kids notice. They notice the teachers are leaving, and it's, what's that? What is that showing them? That they're not worth it? That it's too hard? Teaching is hard. No one said it was easy. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but we shouldn't quit either. We need to stay for the kids. And that's why I joined Flair, is because as a future educator, I'm terrified, you know, but I have veteran teachers around me that are mentoring me and going, hey, not everyone's quitting. Look, we're here to make a difference. We want to make a change, and I want that as well. So join Flair and come make a change with us.
It's 2023 and students are challenging. Staying in education is pretty difficult, and it's getting even harder as teacher after teacher leaves the profession and jumps on YouTube to declare why I quit, why I'll never go back, why staying isn't an option. And for those of us who truly, truly love our kids, we're gonna stay. And so that put me in this place where I know that if everyone leaves the teaching profession, that may even be better for the teachers who leave. I'm not gonna pretend that behavioral challenges aren't a serious issue, that we're not getting enough support from administration, that we're being asked to do things that are impossible, because that's true. But I also know that if we all leave, then nobody stays there for those kids. Nobody else shows up to help my kids who are homeless every day. Nobody else brings them food when they're hungry. No one checks on them when they're suicidal and gets them the help they need. So if I leave, who does that? Who replaces us? No one. If you're still in the classroom, you're in the classroom because you know if you leave, there's nobody who's gonna come in and do a better job than you do. And that's why we created Flair. We created Flair because for all the millions of reasons people leave, there are really, really, really important reasons to stay. Millions of children across America are hurting, and that's why they act out behaviorally. When we show up and create a safe place for them to be, where they can learn and have hope and connection, we save our country, and we know that. So together, even though it's really, really hard, we have to keep finding our Flair. Because let's be honest, those of us are here because we really, really care.
Please like and subscribe our channel and see what we can do for you.